Okay, hi guys. So for this video, we're going to discuss how to paint weights our um, binded to skin skeletal setup. Okay, we're going to hide this spherical and cubic, and we'll focus more on the multi-object character, a multi-model character. Okay, because this is the character that doesn't have much complication, or didn't have that much problem in terms of skin binding. But if you don't want to do paint weights, um, let's try to um, do some work around with this. Let's try if we um, make the character's leg apart from each other. So let me unparent this first, or rather I'll unskin bind or unbind this. Okay, so let me unparent this. Okay, and then I can just delete this, so I can mirror this side later on, and then we'll try to move this on one side. Okay, and then modify this transformation, or reset transformation, and then let me mirror. Okay, edit, duplicate special to negative y, apply, oh sorry, x, negative x, apply. Okay, so now that they're apart from each other, okay, I have to move this also, and then mirror this on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to parent this to the hip, P, sorry, there you go. And then now let's try to skin bind. Okay. And then let's try if these things work. Okay. As you can see, it has lesser effect, or almost, it doesn't have any effect on the right legs, but as you can see, there are still subtle, very subtle effect on the right leg. Okay, so this time we're going to fix that through the paint weights. So paint weights, you can find it from skin, and then paint skin weights. But to do that, you have to select the character mesh, not the skeleton, but rather the mesh. Okay, and then you go to skin, paint weights. However, we're not able to name the skeleton joints, so we have to name this. So um, every time we need to paint weights, we're not going to guess which part of the joint are we painting weights. Okay, anyway, there's a tool in Maya wherein you can name your joint. Okay, like let's say for the shoulder, we have here skeleton, joint label, add joint labels, and then let's make this apply out menu. I think I've mentioned this before on prior video, So this is the shoulder. Okay, label left. Okay, and then label shoulder. um, Shoulder. How come it's not naming? Try label elbow. Is it naming or not? I don't think it's naming. Let's try again. Skeleton, joint label, add shoulder. Shoulder. How come it's not naming? Label. There you go. You have to select okay, skeleton. Again, joint, naming, fly out menu. This is the wrist. So, gawin natin siyang wrist. I don't seems to find any wrist here. So we'll skip that part. Let's move with label right. Okay, and then shoulder, and then elbow, and then label this as collar. Okay, and then this is this one is neck. Okay. Label this as root. Okay. It's hip, and then spine. Okay. Label this as left, and then leg. Knee. Okay. And then foot. Okay. And then label this right, and then knee, and then foot. So some of the joints has no names yet or not available. You can just manually name it, and then I'll label this as toe, and then toe, and then let me label this as finger, and then finger. I don't have a palm, so I can just manually label it later. So this one is for the head. It doesn't have any head naming, so I'll just manually name it later on. And then since it's not yet applied or not yet renamed, let me close that and then go to skeleton, joint labeling, rename joint from labels. Okay, so as you can see, those joint that we applied naming has already been renamed. This one we have to rename it manually. Okay, this is for the center jaw or chin, and then this one center head, and then center head tip. Okay, this one is for left wrist. Okay, this one is for left palm, and then left finger, and okay. Okay, so we have to rename also on the other side. This is right wrist, right palm, and then right finger tip. Okay, we'll change this to tip. Now that we've already renamed, okay, it's easier for us to identify which part are we painting it on. So just select the mesh, and then you go to skeleton, paint weights, sorry, skin, paint weights, and then let's try to pop out the tool setting for the paint weights. Okay, make it fly out. So at current, the selected one is the center root, and as you check the center root, it affects only this area, and then it gradually changes as it goes farther to the joint. Okay, you have an option to paint it. Take note that in paint weights, anything that is totally white is 100% affected by the selected joint, wherein the selected joint is the root, so this is within the crotch area, and then gradually it removes the effect as it goes further to the joint. Okay, so since what we're looking at, or what we're trying to fix, is the movement for the legs, so let's check on left knees. So I think I forgot to there you go, left knee. Okay, and let's check if it's painted white, but it doesn't seems to look like it's painted white, but let's assure. Sometimes on our screen it looks white, okay, but when we look at it closely, as you can see, it turns a little gray here, so we don't want that. Okay, so what we do is we paint it with a value of 0. That means we're painting it black, so just simply paint it black, or value of 0, so that every time you move the joint, that joint, it won't affect any of this part that we're seeing a while ago. Okay, so same thing for the ankle, which I forgot to name. Okay, just 0 the value and then paint it on, so it will paint totally black. And then left foot, make sure it doesn't affect the right foot. Same thing here. Sometimes what I do, even if I don't see it as it change color, or it turn gray or white, to make sure I just painted with 0 value, so that just to make sure that it won't affect the other side of the legs. So let's try if the paint weights work. So let's select the joint, and then as you can see, no movement for the right leg. Okay, now let's check the right leg though, and let's check if it has any effect on the left. As you can see from here, it's moving. It has a small effect or subtle effect. So just select the, again, to paint weights or to improve the weighting of your skin bind, just select the mesh and then skin, paint weights. Okay, and then you look for the joint that you're going to fix. So this is the right foot. So from the right knee, where's the right knee? Let's look for the right knee. There you go. Right knee. Okay. Value of 0. Okay. And then let's paint it on the other side. Make it 0 value so it won't affect the left leg. Okay. Same thing here. To make sure, just try to paint it on. Same thing here. Paint on. Same thing here. Paint on. And up to the last. Okay. Now that we're okay with that, let's try if it will affect the other side of the joint. It has, as you can see here, it has, still has very subtle. So maybe we have to go back to paint weights and then paint it to 0 value. Okay. So you have to do the same thing to other parts that has object or mesh affecting by the other tool. Okay, so on next video we're going, now that once you're done with the paint weights, you're ready to create controller to your object. So watch out for the next video on how to create controllers to your object.